I got you. Can you hear me? Woohoo!
We're Jack Shava, and you're watching Good Day Paris.
Hey, good afternoon, and welcome to Good Day Paris. We're your hosts, Terry Keel
and Angie Gallimore.
That's her.
Our show this week is a continuation of New Year, New You, and a bit more. We're so excited to be with you today and to have you with us. So we have a wonderful day planned for y'all. We have Don Mueller here with us as our musical guest today, and he is a well-established and professional Tennessee musician. And Tracy Tremblay with Tremblay Handcrafted. She has a fantastic skincare regime to share with us, and Terry happens to use her products.
I do.
I'm excited to hear about what she has. I love skincare, always have, so I'm really into that and excited to see what she has.
Yes.
So we also have Dr. Norma Gerrel with goal setting and planning for the new year. And we all need more of that.
Yeah, that is so true. And you know, last week we had introduced a new topic, remember?
Yes.
Do you remember what I called it?
Good stuff to know.
Good stuff to know.
Right.
Very good.
Yes.
And she's a bright one, this one. So here we go.
So this week,
So, yeah, this week we're going to be talking about that, and I have a couple, fun and strange things to talk about, but what I want to talk about this week is actually, I I don't know. Do you remember what we talked about with that?
Well, I think yes, I do. You need to tell us this very interesting topic.
Okay.
I'm excited.
It's kind of corny.
It is kind of corny.
Yeah. We're going to talk about your toenails.
Step right into it there.
Yeah, that's right. And so, yeah, we're going to talk about that because did you know, Ange, that your toenails can actually relay information to you just like little digit detectives?
That is crazy, but I want to hear about it.
It is crazy, but it is interesting. So here we go. Here's a few things you should know about your feet. You probably don't think much about them until someone steps on your toe or you bang it on the bedpost. But the studies at Temple University School of Podiatric Medicine in Philadelphia have found many interesting things we're going to share with you here today. And these issues all start with clues. So here's clue number 1. If you have a concave toenail, some people may be born with these, but they mean something special if it's concave, and we've got that up on the screen if you can see it on the left side there. Some people are born with them. They could be hereditary, but a case that will appear out of the blue all of a sudden warrants that you check your toenails because they look scooped out with a little indentation big enough to hold a drop of water. Then you've got an issue. And that's a sign of anemia, actually.
That is so interesting.
It is, because who would have thought that?
Right.
And that should be checked as soon as possible if you have something like that, little scooped out nail. And it could also be pointing to different autoimmune disorders or even hypothyroidism. So our nails really do talk to us. I know our fingernails do as well.
Yes.
But the number 2 clue was a dark vertical band on the toenail. If that should come up, I think we've got that one up on the screen as well. If that happens and you see that, that's a sign of melanoma, and that's melanoma of the foot. And that is most likely to develop on the big toe, but it can also affect other toes on your foot and kind of hide out even between the digits. Acral melanoma is what that's called. And a lot of people of color, they say, do suffer with that, but anybody can get it. So please, if you do see this, contact your doctor right away because that's important to catch these little things that might happen.
Right, and people don't look between their toes.
People don't hardly look at their toes.
Or at them.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Okay,
I know.
What else?
Okay, so the third one would be a clubbed toe. Okay, now that could be a sign of lung cancer. So when the tips of the toes enlarge or the toenails become more rounded on the top and curve downward towards the tip, it could be due to low blood oxygen levels. And that's typically brought on by some form of lung disease or even something that would be the beginning of heart issues like heart disease. So that can also be something that's inherited, but if the tips of your toes seem to be widening and you weren't, it wasn't inherited, then get to your doctor right away because that's very serious, any type of heart disease. And we talked last week about how heart disease is like the #1 killer still after all these years.
Yes.
And so, yeah, so that's pretty important.
And you know, the club toenails, you'll see that on people's fingernails, and I've always known that as a nurse, that has to do with lung issues, but I've learned something. I didn't realize it would do that on your toes also.
Right,
So,
I
that's
know.
interesting.
That's why I was saying earlier, I knew that, you know, you should look at different things like ridges. That might mean a lack of calcium
Right.
or vitamins. There's all these things that, it's like God created our bodies so perfectly that He gives us little clues. Hey, pay attention here. You know, something's going on. Take care of yourself. You know, He gives us these little digits to their little detectives. Didn't you like that?
I did.
I know.
Like that.
That was pretty good. So anyway, another one is cold or blue toes. That can be a sign of heart disease as well. Poor circulation can cause the feet or toes or both to become very cold. I don't think I have anything up on that one. It's typically due to atherosclerosis. Okay, I think I said that right. It's a buildup of plaque on the inside of your arteries that blocks blood flow to your extremities, and that you need to have your doctor investigate right away, because that is very abnormal, and it could increase issues with even your feet temperature, like your feet can get very hot or very cold, and you know, sometimes you wonder, why are my feet like this, you know. Now you know.
Yeah, and honestly, that's the kind of thing that one of the things we deal with in surgery a lot. You know, people come in with a cold toe, a dark toe. That's typically an emergency. We have to go in and deal with the clots in their legs, and
yes, blood clots, oh my goodness. But that's also a sign of Raynaud's syndrome, which is a rheumatic condition in which the small blood vessels in the fingers or toes go into spasms, causing them to turn white or blue in the cold. So please pay attention to that, okay? Just pay attention to your feet. But then the other one, this is very interesting. It's called the half moon syndrome. It's a huge half moon on your fingers and your toes. You have these little moons. And in your toes, it's a sign of liver disease if that is like 3/4 of the size of your toenail. So I never knew that. And it can also be a sign of renal failure. And guess what those are called? It's crazy. I couldn't believe it when I read this. They're called Terry's nails.
Terry's nails.
But Terry like a boy, Terry nails. So not like a girl, okay, Teri. So oddly enough, that's what they're called. But that really has got to be taken seriously too. So if you should find that on your fingers or your toes, please get to a doctor. So number 6 is tingling, burning, or numbness. This could be a sign of diabetes. It's an early warning sign, the tingling and the numbness or the burning. But they are classic signs of peripheral neuropathy caused by diabetes. And high blood sugar injures nerves throughout the body, particularly the extremities, and can cause loss of sensation, which is a key factor in the development of diabetic foot infections. So be aware of this, and again, please see your doctor as soon as possible if that is happening to you. And then a final note, Ange. Arthritis, both the rheumatoid, osteoarthritis, and psoriatic arthritis can also be detected from painful, inflamed toe joints. I would have never thought that. I just would have never thought that.
Yeah.
Anytime pain is involved in your feet or toenails, have them checked. And do that as soon as you can, because this can prevent a lot of undue pain and suffering for people. Pay attention to your feet. You know, I like to go and get massages and have my feet rubbed and all that, and I'm really in tune with mine. You know, I pay attention to mine and keep them clipped real short and everything, because that's healthy.
Right.
You know, when I was young, I thought, oh, nice long toenails with nail polish are so pretty, but that's not healthy, you know?
And speaking of healthy, whenever I know that you've been working on your weight loss journey.
I have.
One thing that makes people notice their feet is pain.
That's right.
And one thing that happens when people start to get healthy and lose weight and decrease inflammation and their blood sugar levels out and gets better is that they notice the foot pain that they had goes away.
That is so true.
A lot of times, all kinds of things, you know, joint pain, I would forget it when I need it, like right now. But the when the arch is hurting, what's that called?
Your arch?
I can't remember.
Isn't it called the arch?
It is, but it has a name.
Oh,
you
it
have
does.
to stretch to make it feel better.
Oh.
Everybody who has it knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
And I've had it. But anyway, that kind of thing gets better a lot of times just because the inflammation goes away, your blood sugar's better, you're losing weight. So anyway,
Yes.
speaking of feet.
And blood sugar
Yes.
is a big thing. We have got to pay attention to these things.
Plantar
because
fasciitis.
I was just going to say, I had it, so I should know it. Plantar
Yes.
fasciitis. Yeah, and mine is getting better, thank God. So, so anyhow, I'm just grateful that we, could talk about this. And it is a good thing to know about. It's just good to talk about these things because we just forget about them, And so anyway, moving right along.
Yes. So I want to mention to everybody just to remember that you can visit us on our YouTube channel at gooddayparis.com.
That's right.
And you can find more content about us on myparistv.com. And while you're there, please subscribe and follow us on social media.
Good. Yes. And so Ange, like we were talking, everybody knew I was on a diet, right? That has been watching the show. And I guess I started just before the first of the year, so I kind of cheated, going a little bit early. I was trying to get, get up on it. But so I've lost 18 pounds. I still have 46 to go. So you're all kind of on this diet with me. You'll have to suffer through it with me. Hold me accountable, but I'm going to do it. And I'm so loving it because I had to go buy some new clothes because nothing is fitting.
Yes.
I am very excited about that.
That is wonderful.
I really want to get to my desired weight and stay there for the rest of my life. So,
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, what's going on with you now?
Well, to kind of go along with what we were talking about with a new year and new you, there's a Bible study that I was looking at, and it's talking about a new start, not looking back.
Yeah.
And part of that is that whenever we're looking back at who we or maybe what we don't like about ourselves, sometimes we keep identifying with that person, and this is something Norma and I have shared and discussed also, that we say, I am disorganized. I'm always late. Naming all these things of, I'm scared, I'm nervous, I'm whatever. I've always been, but
Speaking that.
yeah.
Yikes.
As a new
Negativity.
start, don't look back at who we used to be.
Right. You're not
Look
there anymore.
forward, right, to who it is that God has created us to be. What is it that He's putting in our heart that, what work is He wanting to do in us?
Right.
What is the new goals, the new desires that He's put in us? And speaking those truths.
Right. The new focus.
Yes, of who He's made us to be.
Right.
And so one thing in this Bible study, there was a scripture, and it says, once you were dead because of your disobedience and your
Right.
many sins. You used to live in sin just like the rest of the world, obeying the devil, the commander of the powers of the unseen world. And it goes on talking about that. It says all of us used to live that way, but then it says that but God is so rich in mercy, and He loved us so much that even though we were dead because of our sins, He gave us life when He raised Christ from the dead. And so that's where we have to start.
Right.
We don't have to, but that is the best place to start.
Yeah,
that's the place that makes the biggest difference, and it's going to last for eternity.
That's right.
It's first of all starting in that relationship with Christ.
Right.
And from that, He makes us a new person.
Yep.
He turns our life around.
And He takes us wherever we are.
Right. And then we can be who He's calling us to be. We
Right.
can be we can live in that new life. It says anyone in 2 Corinthians, it says anyone who belongs to Christ has become a new person. The old life is gone. A new life has begun. And it's not God's fault we're living in our old life.
No.
He's wanting to give us a
He
new
doesn't
life.
remember it, but we keep
Right.
bringing it back up and throwing it in
Yes.
His face. And we don't need to do that.
Right.
We need to move forward and be who He says we are. And though, sometimes that's a new thing for us. And we can even go years as Christians and forget what God has said to us about these things.
Yes.
We can get so complacent where we are that we don't really focus on what He's called us to. So we kind of go a little sideways and a little like this, and like fishtailing. But once we focus, and if we stay in the Word, that's the ticket.
It is.
Staying in the Word, because that Word is always going to bring us right back.
Yes.
If we don't, we're over here and we're over there, swimming in other strange waters,
Right.
But thank you for bringing that up, because that's another good thing to know, isn't it?
Right, and many times we're drugged down because
Right.
we're stressed out about who we used to be and not wanting to be that person anymore when we just
That is so
don't
true.
be looking back there at that anymore. Get in the Word, like you said.
Right.
Look at who God is creating us to be and wants us to be and is ready to give us the power to be if we
Right.
will just keep
Do
our
it.
eyes on Him.
That's
Yeah,
right.
and remember,
That's right.
we have a new life. Remember, we are ambassadors of the King. We're a new creation.
King's kids.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter what your age, I'm still a king's kid.
Exactly. So that's what's been going on with me.
That's very cool, and
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. So, thank you for sharing.
Yes.
And I look forward to hearing what you've got for next week for us, too, because I like these little moments, Angie.
Yeah,
They're
me too. Me too.
They're so much fun. So we have a musical guest with us today, and I would like to introduce him to you. I'm going to read a little bio about him. His name is Don Mueller, and he is a singer-songwriter from Dowelltown, Tennessee. And Don believes that music has the power to transport us to other places and times, and he harnesses that power with authority. Don is known for his soulful voice and emotive songwriting. He began his career as a singer-songwriter in the local music scene and quickly gaining a reputation as a talented and passionate performer. He has a style that blends folk, rock, and blues influences, and Mueller's music is deeply personal and resonates with audiences of all ages, and it really does. He has released several albums and has toured extensively throughout the United States and Europe. Don is also known for his philanthropic efforts, using his platform to raise awareness and funds for various charitable causes. He's been a very true blessing, and now he's here blessing us. So please welcome to Good Day Paris for the first time here, Don Mueller.
Since I'm in the fish fry capital of the world, I'm gonna do it. At an early age, I seemed to know I had a warrior spirit deep in my soul. I was either on the river or in a deer stand. Sometimes my baby just don't understand. I'm having fun, a rod and reel in my hand. I'm a hunting and a fishing man. Now we're living good back here in the woods. My freezer is stocked with fish, turkey, and goose. We go to town maybe twice a year, 'cause we catch and grow what we eat out here. My father taught me, like his daddy taught him, how to be a hunting and fishing man. Now I get up early, way before dawn, head out to my favorite crappie hole. If the fish ain't biting, I hop in my truck, ease over to where I seen that buck. I got my license, deer stamp in my hand. No, we won't go hungry, I can live off of land. I got everything I need out here. I'm a hunting and a fishing man. Bringing home the bacon with a 30-06. I'm a hunting and a fishing man.
Thank you. Thank you, Don. That was wonderful. And we'll hear a little bit more from you later. Right now, I'd like to introduce Tracy Tremblay with Tremblay Handcrafted. So, Tracy, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, hello.
Hi.
Good to meet you guys. What can I say? I'm a clinician. I've been in skincare, or I've studied skincare for about 20 years.
Right.
I worked for Clinique all those years ago, and they have pretty intense training, so that's kind of what kicked off my interest in skincare. But as I've gotten older, I've gotten to the point where I want all natural. I don't want to put 50 million ingredients on my skin. So I started to do more research into more natural solutions. So one of the things we're going to do today is we're going to have a model demonstrate a facial for us.
Oh, I love that.
Now, what's really fun and interesting about this is you can go to a retail store, and I encourage you to do so, and price out skincare. And go ahead and spend $200, that's fine. Or, here's another idea. Let's try something a little more simple. This is Belinda Bowers. She's with Remax Realty. She is our beautiful model.
Yes, she is.
So today Belinda's going to show us live by doing half of her face. And we're going to start with this soap here. This is a turmeric facial soap, and she's going to clean exactly half of her face. And then we're going to go to step 2. This soap, and hopefully maybe we can get to the slide that's talking about skincare. Like, Kevin, anytime. There it is.
There it is.
You know, because we can't remember anything all by ourselves anymore. I need help. I'm going to admit it. I need help. There's some commonalities in skincare issues. One is the basics: dry, oily, combination, or sensitive. Sensitive, by sensitive, I mean allergies. Belinda, do you have any allergies?
I don't have any allergies, Tracy, but I have sensitive skin.
Okay, good. Good, because this is the most gentle skincare you'll ever use.
It really is.
So,
I use this, and I love this.
Oh, thank you. I kind of forced you to.
No, I tried it at a, at one of your shows that you had.
Yeah.
And I was sold that fast. The difference was immediate.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
nothing really does that,
Yeah. Well, and again, it's do you want to spend $90 or $120, or do you want the same thing for $38? I mean, and this is all natural. There's no preservatives and things like that. But we'll get to that. Mm-hmm. So I need to go back to that skincare slide because I need a little help. Mm-hmm. All right. So what's our common skincare processes? And the normal woman today would use water and soap, right? Or nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do?
Well, I use a cleanser and a toner and a moisturizer and a serum and all this good stuff. Yes, lots of
Okay,
things.
just for fun.
Okay.
How many products are part of your routine?
Oh my goodness.
Sounded like about 5.
So yes, the cleanser, the toner, the little thing I put under my eyes, and the serum that I put on my skin.
So
and then
4.
the moisturizer.
Moisturizer.
And then the eye moisturizer.
6.
And then the what's the prep under your makeup? The
Like a base.
yeah. And
7.
then the makeup.
7. And then makeup 8.
Yeah.
You ready for your life to change a little bit?
Yes, girl. Yes. Let's change my life. I'm up for
All right.
change. Let's do it.
So, common skin conditions that we look at and that we care about, and when we create products like this, are basically things like sun damage, tired skin, flaky skin, dry skin. And that skin, when you look at that person and their skin is dull, you know there's a lot going on there, and it is not good. Belinda is going to apply a mask. We're not going to talk about the mask yet. Go back to what causes skin damage. But while her mask is drying on half her face, we're going to talk about what causes skin damage. And this is something every woman should know, or every man as well. Sun, number 1. If you're not wearing sunscreen every day, please, please, please start wearing sunscreen. Number 2, surprisingly, is hygiene. Hygiene is that if I were to take a microscope, and not you, darling, but somebody else, and look at skin that has not been properly cleansed to skin that has been properly cleansed, there's a huge difference. And that's a little bit what it looks like.
Wow.
The top is really seriously dry, dirty skin, and the bottom is really well hydrated, happy, gorgeous cells. And the cell structure of your skin reflects that glow that you're looking for. So what helps and what hurts? Genetics is difficult because we don't get to choose our genetics, right? But there's also smoking and drinking. Smoking is really horrible for your skin. And then lack of exercise. So we all need blood flow, even your facial skin. And then hormones, a lack of a skincare routine, and then it's the basics. So we're going to get to the basics today with Belinda. Belinda should have half a mask on. She's still applying. Let's have a quick look at her. You look gorgeous.
She's the bravest soul I know.
She really does look beautiful. I would love to have an eye mask on my head and look that beautiful.
Yeah. Why do you think I chose her?
I'm sure you do.
So Belinda right now, the step that Belinda is doing, she's just cleansed her face with our soap. So the first slide to look at is the facial soap, and it's got some components in it that are concerned with moisturizing, cleansing, and turmeric. Turmeric is a spice, which you definitely should be eating, but it's also super good for your skin.
I love that bar.
And it does. And this is what it looks like. It's it's a pretty basic bar. I think it's about $8. It's not expensive. So far, we've taken about 3 steps from your facial routine.
Right.
Step 1 is cleansing, and step 1 is important because you have to get all that dead skin off and all the dirt off. So what happens with a lot of women is they don't get all their makeup off. And that's what step 1, stop that. Stop that right now. Cleanse properly and use, and a little tip here is, this is how you make something last a long time.
Yeah, and that does work. I've been using that.
This is a little soap bar, and you drop your facial soap or your bar soap into your shower, drop it over the rod, and there it is, and it hangs in your shower, and then you use it like this, get that face clean.
Okay.
How are we doing on dryness?
Bag. That's nice.
Okay. We're not there yet on dryness, but let's talk about exfoliation, because what she's doing right now is she is removing dead skin from her top dermal level. And there's lots of different ways to do this. You called it a toner, by the way. It does nothing for you, so there goes number 2.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that awful? I come here and ruin dreams.
That's okay.
Jared's like,
save us some money.
Don't come back. Just don't come back. Okay. All right. So what does this mask do, and why do I use a mask versus a liquid versus a chemical versus, because they're all out there. You can go out and buy salicylic acid, and you can exfoliate yourself quite well. Or you can get a chemical peel, which is a great way to exfoliate, but not everybody has the money for a chemical peel, and not everyone reacts really well with a chemical peel. So in lieu of those steps, let's do something at home twice a week or 3 times a week, depending on the sensitivity of your skin. And what this does is this clay, it's a bentonite clay with lavender, and what it does is it goes deep into your dermal layer, way beyond the surface, and it pulls toxins out, pulls radicals out, and that's why she's sitting there drying and why we're waiting for it to dry, because there's a lot of work happening right there on her face right now, just by letting it dry and letting that clay do its job, which is why I stick with the clay. I keep thinking, I've had my sister say, I just don't want to put clay on my face. It's the best and most natural thing I can find, and I'm just being really honest with you. Suck it up, Buttercup. Put the clay on.
Put the clay on. That's
Yeah.
right.
Any
that's
questions
wonderful.
before we move on to our
This is the mask you're talking about.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
small size, but yeah, 2 to 3 times a week, the whole face, the chest, your everything.
Yes.
And honestly, this would not hurt your hair, because your hair and scalp need to be exfoliated too, as does your skin. So this could be a whole body thing if you wanted to. It's up to you.
So there is really no alternative to using a mask.
Again, people will say, I don't want to do that, and Okay, but yeah, I mean, honestly, yes. If there's one thing that you walk away with today, exfoliation is number one for your whole body, your hair. But if you want that glow on your face and you want that youthful look that look at Miss Terry has, well, you do too, sweetheart. Yeah, you need to exfoliate. Men do too. Yeah, but they won't. But anyway. All right, Belinda, you gorgeous thing, you.
That looks very dry. That's got.
How do you feel?
It is amazing. I can actually, it has just, you can feel it working in a matter of just seconds. It's
Oh, people
fantastic.
can't hear her because she's not mic.
So what Belinda just said is she said it felt amazing and that she could feel it working within seconds, and she liked the fact that she could feel the results, not only see it but feel it as well. And that's why I stick with basic all natural clay stuff. I just really plus I don't want to put chemicals on people's faces. I just don't. All right, the next and last step. We're at $56. How much do you spend?
I have no idea. I would not pay attention to that because then I would probably not. I don't
Do
know.
any of it, yeah.
I would get another job.
Yeah.
Because I have to have my skin care. So
We'll see. Fine, we'll see. All right, this is the most important thing of all. I said exfoliation is, but I actually mean this after exfoliation. And what this is a daily lotion loaded with extremely high fats, oils, and hyaluronic acid, yes, that acid, and vitamin C. It's non-comedogenic, which means it will not block your pores. It will be highly moisturizing, and if you know, do you know what hyaluronic acid is?
Oh yes, it's a necessity with good skincare. So what's the difference between this product and like something similar that you might buy at the department store?
The difference is there's 4 ingredients in here, and this will last a year on the shelf. This is a live product. In other words, there's not 47 million preservatives. It's not made in China. It's made here in Tennessee.
Yay.
And I use extremely, extremely expensive ingredients in here. So when you see the percentages of things like hyaluronic acid, there is a level to which the chemistry behind products like this has to be exact. In other words, there is actually math and science in a product like this. And the next question I would ask me is, how do you know? Where do
you mind if I see this?
Yeah.
you just hang on there,
Okay,
sister.
all right.
Just 1 second. Just 1 second. So here's the thing. Where was I going with this?
I don't know.
Okay.
We were talking about hyaluronic acid.
Oh, yes.
And
Yes.
all
Okay.
the products that are in all the ingredients in other products.
Right.
No
Okay.
preservatives.
We were off in the what's the difference category. The difference is it's all natural. It's made here. It's not imported from China. And I want to stop and make a comment about that, because if you're buying a product on a shelf and it has a shelf life of more than a
right.
year, what is keeping that ingredient? What are keeping those ingredients active?
Preservatives.
Thank you. And how much of the key ingredients are in that made in China product? Very low. Your active ingredients are next to nothing, because that's how manufacturing works in third world countries. Stop. Okay.
And how long would this last, this bottle?
That would last you
Oh my
a
gosh,
year.
that
It would
lasts a
last a
very
year.
long time.
So when
I
you
literally put just a little
A
bit on
dime.
and it works so completely.
Okay.
a
That's
dime.
even a little much.
Yeah. This is all you need. And I recommend it twice a day, because there is no damage to putting vitamin C and hyaluronic acid with your moisturizer on twice a day. And if you want that glow, this is the product. The other thing about hyaluronic acid that you need to know is it's a component, a chemical that binds. It's a binder of hydration. So it pulls hydration into your cells and keeps them there. And that's what you want. That's where you see that gorgeous glow. So you've seen hyaluronic acid, vitamin C advertised all over the TV and internet. And it's very, very, very expensive.
I love it.
But it doesn't have to be. That's what I'm trying to say, is it doesn't have to be. This is literally $38. So we are about ready for Belinda to put it on. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
All you have to do is put a nice dime, there you go.
Yeah,
dime
she
size
just has a little bit.
portion, and everywhere, even under your eye product.
Yes.
Before gone.
So you would use this as your eye product also.
Right.
Okay.
You don't
so
need-
you cleanse, and 2 or 3 times a week you do a mask, but if not
Right.
that, you just cleanse and go straight to
You
your
go from
moisturizer.
here
Yep.
to here.
Cleanse,
These two, yeah,
exfoliate, moisturize, and protect.
yes.
And then you may have a fourth product, and that's sunscreen.
Yeah,
and that's it.
sunscreen, yes, definitely.
So that's kind of it for skincare. Let's check in with Belinda, see how she's doing. How do you feel? And I'll tell them how you feel. You want?
It feels wonderful.
It does feel wonderful.
So-
Yeah, we'll do a before and after on her now. And
Yeah.
are you ready for that?
Sure.
Okay.
Got a little bit right here.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So then, let's see. I think they'll put something up. There you go. Look on the TV and you'll see. Try to get your face to the line and look straight at the camera. There you go.
So
She's much more rosy on that one right side there.
right, and you can see the delineation on her chin. You know, you could tell. You know what? There's a reason why, because that mask pulled blood to her upper dermal level, and the reason why that's good is because blood is a healer. So you
Right.
bring more blood into an area, you bring more healing. What comes with healing? Youth.
Yes.
Yeah. We all need a little more of that.
I'm 170, girls. This works. All right.
That's your skincare.
That's
routine.
awesome.
It.
Okay.
That's
and what about some of your other products?
okay.
Do you
this-
mind if I
Ow,
take a?
no, have a sniff. That's an Alpine.
Wow.
I know.
This is
I know.
This
Oh gosh, that
This
smells
is a
good.
soap. Now I want you to
Clean, very
what-
clean.
That yeah, but I'm going to be really honest with you and everybody. There are 3 kinds of soap in the world. So there's what's called a melt and pour. That's a melt and pour. That's so easy to do. I could teach it to you in 10 minutes. But I emphasize is the fact that I use extremely high quality bases, and then I try to make it an aesthetically pleasing soap. But is it better than, for example, a cold process or hot process? No. And I'll tell you why. Those 2 types of processes for hand and body soap are incredibly complicated. They're very they're easy to make mistakes with, and people that have mastered cold and hot process soaps are that's extremely great soap. So you will find that kind of soap. Not that this isn't great, but I'm not gonna. The honest truth is, if you're really interested in soap, you want to go to farmers markets where they sell hot and cold process soap, or local artisans that is their process.
Or get it from you.
Yeah, well, this is a cold process melt and pour. So I'm saying if you meet somebody and they've made it from goat's milk, literally from scratch, that's a pretty complicated stuff. They're not all created equal.
Yeah, and this one here is one that I have bought several times from her already, because I just love how using this on the bottom of my feet. Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful. And it can be a man's soap, or, I like it. It just smells wonderful. And time is kind of the essence right now, so I want to go through some of this. She also has this kitty litter deodorant.
I love that stuff.
That is amazing, and it works. Wow. And I've cheated. And a couple times I've used it almost as a carpet freshener.
Oh, that's fun.
I know it is, because everything you have is all natural. And then you have this pet scent deodorizer, which is
It's the same idea
amazing.
as this
Yes.
product.
It's all natural.
Yeah. Well, and you've all heard of a popular line of sprays that go in the bathroom and ends with re. Anyway, same idea here.
Right.
Exact same idea.
Wonderful.
Essential oils are actually the foundation behind aromatherapy products that I create, and this is one of them. I didn't bring them all today, but
This smells so good, you almost want to put it on yourself. It's ridiculously good. And I put it in my vacuum.
yep.
Actually,
Yep, okay.
I kind of put it out, and I know I shouldn't. But last but not least, I don't want to
Right.
leave these things out. She has these beautiful, and they smell amazing. Smell that. These are her wonderful let's see. Yeah, we've got some graphics up for you to look at about,
so
how
beautiful.
she does her candles. These are made in Tennessee.
Yeah,
You don't have to
yeah.
go to China for those.
Well, and they're not all created equal. Let's say a quick word about candles. Do I have time?
Yes, yeah, we have a couple minutes.
Okay, so here's the skinny on candles. Paraffin candles are what you normally smell, and that's that heavy wax smell when you walk into a room and you go, ooh,
Yeah,
ooh,
it is a heavy.
like that smell. That smell comes with soot, which also gets inhaled, and it's just, anyone with sensitivity should not burn that type of candle. What you can burn, however, is a soy candle, and this is pure soy, and I decorate the tops because I can and I like to. And what's inside is pure soy, and what's another aspect of it is a crackling wood wick, which I include in
those
there
are nice.
because
Very nice.
it creates this ambiance of a wood fire burning. It gives you that crackling sound, and it gives you that wonderful smell. And so that's
So what's the difference, Tracy, between a Yankee candle or a Walmart candle or something like that and your candle?
well, number one, price.
Okay.
This is a $15 candle. I'm not going to kid you. But there's $15 of value here. There's 45 hours of burn time, but it's a clean, sootless, beautiful burn. You can't buy that at Yankee Candle because they're made in
Yeah.
China and they're
Yeah.
made with paraffin.
Right.
As are
Dangerous.
very, and well, I wouldn't say dangerous. Just
Well, the soot that
the
you're breathing
soot
in.
is gross. And then Walmart, well, just no.
That's China products as well.
Right. just no.
I know. And so the Body Bliss Salt Scrub is also wonderful. I just want to say that. We're running out of time, but thank you for coming on. How can we find out about getting some things from you if people would like to order? And I know that you were going to do something special for today.
Yes. Okay, so my website is tremblayhandcrafted.com. Pretty easy to find. To everyone that watches this show, first of all, God bless you for supporting them. They're phenomenal people here. They really are.
Thank you.
Our discount for all of you wonderful people is GDP. What is it? 15%. GDP 23 is 15% off your order. And go for it. I do local delivery or shipping, whichever you prefer. And it's really not about a sale, by the way. It's about helping people find solutions to problems like a candle, a clean candle, or a clean soap, or a clean skincare, or a way to get rid of pet smells.
Right.
That's kind of what I'm about. But there's a discount, so give it a try. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you so much for being here. That was wonderful, very educational and amazing. And I can vouch for her products and say I've been using them now for over a year. I love them. I really do.
Right.
I love them.
I'm looking forward to trying it.
Like you have a choice.
I know exactly.
So remember, Good Day Paris, GDP 23, and you get 15% discount. So thank you so much for being a part of Good Day Paris with us today.
Yes, it was great to meet you.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
So let's hear from Dawn again. So Dawn, take it away with your second song.
That's right. Thank you.
I was raised in the backwoods of Tennessee. My papa drank whiskey and I smoked weed. We lived by the cold of the hills. A life on eye, bloody spill. Do unto others as ye shall be done. I don't call 911. Like I said, we'll do that again. I was raised in the backwoods of Tennessee. My papa drank whiskey and I smoked weed. We live by the code of the hills. An eye for an eye, blood is spilled. Do unto others as ye shall be done. I don't call 911. My pappy taught me early to protect myself, not depend on no one else. And I know the difference between right and wrong. And tradition is as strong as the law. It's been handed down from father to son. I don't call 911. Well, I'm a peaceful man, I wouldn't hurt a soul. But let me tell you a little something everybody should know. Don't harm or harm my wife or my kids. And don't let me catch you slipping in and out my crib. 'Cause that'll make me go grab my gun. I don't call 911. I don't call 911. I don't call 911.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much. I don't call 911.
Thank you.
Good song.
Yes. So, we are so glad to have you with us, Miss Norma. And I just want to read a little bit about Norma before we get started.
Okay.
Dr. Norma Gerrel is a 34-year veteran educator. She is married to Carlton Gerrel, who many of you may know, and has 2 sons, Trey, who is married to Emily Richardson, and Scott, who live in Memphis. She loves to spend time with her family and nonfiction books on productivity and leadership. Dr. Gerrel is fascinated with neuroscience and how the brain learns. She's a planner, goal setter, and productivity nerd. An avid podcast listener, YouTube enthusiast, and lover of all things paper, pen, stickers, and planners. Creating routines, habits, and structures around the process of planning has become a lifesaver in Dr. G's busy life and schedule, and she believes these small habits can help you too. And she is also one of my mentors. She's my health coach, and I have admired you for a long time. So I'm so honored to have you here with us.
Thank you. It's exciting to be here and to talk about all the nerdy things that I love.
Yeah, so you're a nerd. Who'd have thought
am.
that?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't look like a nerd.
I have so many years of school, and that's what it is. That's what it is.
Well, welcome to Good Day Parent.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me.
What is this all about?
Well, I brought some examples of different planners that I've used and I do use and I love to use, and I'm not selling a particular kind. But there are different people have an affinity for different weights of paper, and I love to make sure that people have something that fits in their budget. So I've got some things that you can add to, that you can take away from. I just brought a hodgepodge and a plethora of things to share.
Oh, nice. Okay, let's take a look.
All right. Well, one of my favorite things is the goal planner from Power Sheets, and you can get these online. It's made by a group called Cultivate, and it's a really important part of what I do for my yearly planning. So some of the things that I learned here, and it takes you through a great process to think about your goals that you want to accomplish for the year. I set goals in several different categories for the year, and this really helps me with that every quarter. So I do things in quarters because I really love structure. The brain loves structure, and anytime that we can get into a routine or a habit, it makes us more productive, and it gives us a more stress-free life. So thinking about things in quarters, I start in January, and I have January, February, March, and then I go into the second quarter, the third, and the fourth. So I have some patterns and some rhythms there that I use. But some of the categories, and you can use this. You can look on YouTube or look on Google. You can do a Google search on different types of planners, of different types of structures. But one of these, and I'll just show you again a little bit. I like pretty things. And so I'm going to add a sticker. I'm going to add some color. My handwriting, it's decent. It's not beautiful. That's one of the things that I'm learning to do. That's one of the things that I want to learn to do better. But I want to tell you a couple of these different places and different strategies that I use for goal setting. So I set a goal of community. What do I want to do to serve my community? You all are doing that right here. So coming on to Good Day Paris, I didn't know this opportunity would exist, but that becomes part of something I can write down that I have done in my community goals, and then I can congratulate myself for it. Because y'all were kind of talking about this a while ago, and I like to call it living in the gap or living in the gain. If I'm looking backwards and I'm measuring myself on how far I've come, then I'm living in the gain. I'm seeing that I'm growing. If I'm measuring myself constantly, well, I was here and I'm going to get here, but if I never get there and I have so far to go, I feel like I'm living in the gap. And that just kind of shuts me down. So even with weight loss, because Angie and I have been doing this together, I found that when I was setting goals, instead of for me to say, I want to weigh this by a certain day, if I paid more attention to making sure that I was working my program every day, drinking my water, eating what I was supposed to eat, and checking that off, you're gonna lose. Oh, yeah. If you do the program, if you, whatever it is, if you do the program, you're gonna lose the weight. So for me, staying in the gain of checking myself that I'm being faithful to that every day, it not only makes me have something to check off, but it gives me confidence to keep going. Exactly. Otherwise, if I have 45 pounds to lose and I've only lost 3, and I'm looking at that 45, God, I've got too far to go. I'm eating cheesecake. So you really thinking about that. But community, and this is one of the things when I get home tonight, I'll write down, this is part of my community goal. And then the next one is family. I like to set a goal for my family, and that's not just my husband and my dog, which is all that lives in my house now. This is the first time in my life that I've ever had another female live in the house. I've always been the queen. It's been all males besides me, so I sent the boys off to college and law school and find wives, and I got a dog. And so she and I just have a big time. But family, what do I want to do? What do I want to do with my children this year? Yes, they're grown. What do I want to do with my daughter-in-law? What do I want to do for her? So those are goals that I can set for my family. And then finances. And we don't want to deal with finances. How much do you want to spend on something? You know, I have to really rein myself in when it comes to
I think everybody does.
paper, planners. My husband says all the time, if the world ever has a shortage of paper or pens, if you will come to our house, you're going to be
Look
okay.
at this.
Now, this is just minor. This is minor. So with finances, you can think about, what do I want to save? And you're adding to that, don't think about, I'm so far away. If I want to save $1,000, count up to it. Don't think I'm this far away, so I'm going to go buy 2 Happy Meals or something.
Right.
Fun and recreation, and that's a place that I struggle. Most people don't, but work is fun, work is play, and play is work. To me, I love what I do, and I have a hard time leaving work sometimes, or I'll take it home, and that's fun to me. So I have to find some things that are fun, like our hunter and fisher man over here that's been singing about all these fun things that he loves to do. So this planning is a little bit of a hobby for me. And then this year, for part of my fun and recreation, I have put down that I want to learn how to do the kind of modern calligraphy, just cute writing. You know, and I can just get on Pinterest and practice. And I'm not great yet, but I'm better than I was a month ago. Health and wellness, of course, I talked about that with weight loss. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm headed in that direction, and I'm on the right track, so I just keep going.
Me too.
Right. Home and spaces. I hate to admit this, but anybody who walks in my office knows already. I'm a piler, not a filer. I have piles of things. I know where everything is. And people walk into my office, and it's just like, what happened to your desk? I'm working. How can you work in that? I can, but I don't like it. I'm convicted about clutter, not just stuff clutter, but clutter in my heart, clutter in my mind, clutter in my schedule. So one of my home and spaces this year, one of my goals is to declutter. And my mother helped me on Saturday, and we decluttered half of my bathroom.
Wow, that's
Now,
awesome.
We had fun. If I have somebody there to kind of keep me going, that helps a little bit. Spiritual and personal growth, that's really important to me, and that's my number one goal. The thing that I'm working this year with on woohoo! That's the kind of day I've had. But
that's what happens when it's live.
Yeah, absolutely. We love live. One of the things that I'm really working on with my spiritual and personal growth, and the spiritual growth, is to get up at a certain time every day and to just sit and be with God. Like, my dad died in 2019, and I miss him terribly, but I've learned to relate to God as my father in a different way than I ever have, because I don't have my daddy. So God as my Abba, as my father, and I picture in my mind that in the morning when I get up and I get on my couch in my perfect spot and the dog crawls up in my lap, that I'm just sitting in God's lap and enjoying his presence. And that gives me a calm for my day. But because I've written the goal, I know what I'm going to get up and do. I don't have to say, well, what am I going to do today? I know. I know before I go to bed what I'm going to get up and do the next day. So then work and learning. Work and learning to me kind of go together, and I am a learner. I love to learn anything Knew it really doesn't matter what it's about. I was fascinated with the toes. I mean, I'm
I
sitting
know,
over
isn't
there
that
almost
interesting?
taking
I know.
notes. I'm going home to look at my toes to make sure they're not terry toes.
I think we're all going to go home and check them out.
So with work and learning this year and being in the position that I have now as the superintendent of schools for Paris Special School District, I've had to learn a new skill set. And
That can be
that's-
difficult.
It has been difficult and it's been fun at the same time, but I've really come to understand that I have 3 big buckets of work, that I have people. The people are the most important.
Right,
The
always.
people and the relationship are the most important. And then there's culture. Culture, how do we feel? How do we do things around here? Is it fun to come to work? Do I hate to come every day? And then numbers. I have to pay a lot of attention to numbers, finance numbers, or how much gas are we using in the bus, or diesel are we using in buses, or how many kids are showing up today, or how many kids are sick. Numbers are a big part of what I do, and numbers have never been that important to me because I'm a word girl.
Oh.
I love words. So just defining those buckets of people and culture and numbers can really help me to set goals and that I can track, because I like to set SMART goals. I want to be specific. I want I want my goal to be measurable. I want my goal to be attainable. I don't want to set a goal I can't reach. I am not going to set a goal to run a marathon.
Just not going to do it.
I'm not ever.
hear you.
I'm 56 years old. If
You're
I'm
young.
if I'm running, somebody is chasing me, and you need to really get in a hurry. So that's not something I'm going to set a goal to do. I admire people who do that. I have read books on running marathons.
yeah.
I think the discipline and the practice that they put into their lives and the structure that brings, I've used that in my life in some other ways, but I'm not going to do that. So there's no sense in setting a goal for it to me.
Right.
So you've got your specific, your measurable, your attainable. Your R is it's reasonable. I'm going to lose 100 pounds in 3 months. That's not reasonable.
Right.
So why push yourself to that? Make it 25 pounds in 3 months.
Right. It has to be attainable.
Yeah. And if you do that and you've reached that goal, then you can do 25 again. And by the end of the year, you'll have the 100 gone. But make it reasonable. And then the T is time bound. So I have to give myself a timeline. And that's one of the things that I love about setting quarterly goals, because I can see that they're working. I can see the achievement. And then I can set my monthly goals off of those quarterly goals, my weekly goals off of those monthly goals, and then I think about daily. And I want to show you just a real simple page. This is from a Panda planner. These, you can find these online. They're not expensive at all. But the Panda planner, and I'll put that up there so that people can see. The Panda planner was created by a gentleman who had a traumatic brain injury. And he needed a way to get his thoughts organized and to keep himself in structure. And so one of the ways that it starts every day is, what am I grateful for? So I start my day when I sit down at my desk, because I usually do my planning for the day when I get there. I'm grateful for 3 things. And if I can't think of anything else, I can always say, I'm grateful that I can write something to be grateful for, that I have hands that can write. And then, what am I excited about? We give 3 things that we're excited about that day. If you never get excited about anything, you need to come and visit Good Day Paris.
Exactly.
You really
We'll
do,
get
because
you
there
excited.
is excitement around here. And then there's an affirmation. And I don't get into the guru affirmation kind
Yeah,
of
no.
Usually that's a scripture for me.
Right.
Or I may even
Absolutely.
say, I am a child of God.
Amen.
I know that I am capable of doing the work that's been given to me today.
Yes.
I like to start affirmation with I am, because I'm speaking who I believe and I know that God says I am. And then when I'm going through my day and I get discouraged, I can go back to that affirmation.
Yes.
And I can say, I am capable. I am able, whatever that affirmation is for the day. And then you have your priorities. 3 priorities for the day is plenty. And some people say, you only do 3 things a day? No, you have priorities. Priorities, you limit it to 3. But then you're going to have tasks. To me, laundry is not a priority. I mean, that's a task.
Right.
So you have, when you're planning for your day, think about it in 3 categories. I plan my priorities. 3, I plan my tasks, my to-do list that I can check off and feel really good about checking it off. But if you can't check it off, just draw an arrow and that moves it to the next day. So you've done something, makes you feel good. And then you have your scheduled obligations, the things that I know I have to be at a meeting at 10:30.
Oh,
I
right.
know that I have Rotary at 12 o'clock. I know that goes on your schedule. That goes on your time. But your tasks, call and make a dentist appointment. That's a task. But what is a priority for the day? A priority may be, I am going to focus on truth. I'm going to focus on people today. I'm going to encourage 5 people in a specific way. I'm going to write 5 notes. I'm going to write 5 thank you notes. That's a priority. It's a big item, and it forces you to kind of move those up in your mind.
Right.
So that kind of structure has really benefited me in being able to keep my energy up, to stay focused on the work that I need to be doing, and it really doesn't cost a whole lot of money. I do want to, in fact, it doesn't cost anything if you just get a 59-cent notebook from wherever, that, and that works just as well. Get you some cute stickers and make it your own. I do want to show you this particular planner, and I love this. This is the Happy Planner. And the reason that I like this, and they're all different kinds of, the front and the back's interchangeable. And
Now, you don't do all of these in one day.
oh no,
Oh, okay.
no, but I
I was
may.
going to say, we can get help.
Yeah. Well, I do need a 12-step program for my problem with planners. But this particular planner has so many things that you can take the paper out. So I love it for note taking, because if I want to keep something, I can take some notes.
Oh, and you can
And
take
then
that out and put it back
I
in.
can put that back
Oh,
in.
how nice.
And what I do
like that.
is my Happy Planners. You can even buy these at Walmart now. It's awesome. But one thing that I've done with my Happy Planners from the past, a lot of people journal. I keep my planners from year to year, and that way my children are going to have some really good things to read.
Yeah.
One of these days when I'm gone,
absolutely.
and I'm taking all this stuff to the nursing home. Because then I'll know, it was 2017 and here's what I was doing, and I can just have some great memories. But being able to go back and to look at things that were fun, things that you were doing
Let's
at that
see.
time.
Yeah, it's something like this.
And this is a dashboard. There's different kinds of plans that you can do, and you can use your stickers and make all kinds of different things there.
So you really just have to find what speaks to you.
Yes.
And what you can do. I was just telling Ange the other day, me and planners, ay. I don't ever journal. And everybody says journal, journal, journal. I take notes.
Yes.
And then I put them away. And then I compile my notes, go through my notes, throw that out, I did that out, that. You know, I would have such a hard time with these. Even when we do our Bible studies, like the Beth Moore studies I used to do all the time and teach from, and Overcomers seminars that I used to do and everything, I'd write down the notes, and the rest of it was like either from my Bible or right here.
Right.
And so I'm like, I don't know. Some of us love paper. Some of us don't. It's so weird.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, Terry, you have to journal. You have to do this. I'm like,
Well, if you have the Panda...
I'm older than you.
That's right.
If you have the Panda Planner and you're writing down 3 things that you're grateful for that day and 3 things you're excited about, that's your journaling.
Yeah, that is.
It doesn't have to be a whole page.
Right.
And I love these markers that you can buy just about anywhere.
Color code them?
I don't color code. That's one thing I've never really gotten into because I like so many different colors so much. But these mild liners have just become my new best friend. This is a way that I use this. Some people are going, that's too artsy for me. How do you use it with work?
Yeah.
Well, I was doing strategic planning not long ago for our team and for our vision. And so this is the way that I just added some color to make me happy when I have to sit down and look at this, because strategic planning is funny. I mean, it can be fun. Defining my role in my job, culture, people, numbers, mindset. Thinking is my work. I'm a knowledge worker. I'm not out planting a garden.
Right.
I'm a manager or a leader has really one function to get results. So that's here. And then habits of mind. What habits of mind am I working toward? So you can use this also in your work. And this is just, I love a dot grid journal for this kind of thing. Or if I'm reading a book, I take notes as I'm reading the book. I've got future plans here, but here's one that's, specific outcomes. What am I looking for, not only for my team, but for myself? What is each school looking for? And I just like to make it colorful and fun.
Yeah.
So it's, who do I want future Norma to be? Right. Because I don't want to, if I'm not a different person next year than I am sitting here right now, I've really not stagnated. I've gone backwards. So what can I do to grow me and to be excited about the new me that will be 57 soon? It's a number. It's not that big of a deal to me. I'm glad to be that old.
That's right.
So
not everybody gets to be that old. Yeah.
So just using that simple dot grid for anything that you're wanting to take notes on, to remember as you're reading, as you're planning. So this kind of book might be a good thing for you. It doesn't have to be a calendar. Planning to me is not just about writing down what I'm going to do every day. There's a purpose to it. There's an end result that I want. And there is certainly a formula. And I'll go back over that little formula just a little bit, that every day you want your priorities.
Yes.
Make sure you don't have more than 3.
Okay.
Because our brain really can't get more than 3 things, big rocks, big 3 things done. And then you're going to have your tasks. I've got to pay this bill. I've got to go to Walmart and buy this. I've got to run by Kroger and pick up my click list. Those are your tasks. And then the third thing is you have those things that are scheduled and they are time bound. So at 9 o'clock, I have to be at my child's school to do this. At 12 o'clock, I'm meeting so-and-so for lunch, and at 2:30, I'm picking up the cleaning before I go pick up the kids at school. So if you can think about those things, I think it could really help.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think what works for me is calendars and writing little things in, and I have to have this fueling, this much water.
Yes.
Then I have to do this, and I mean, everybody's day does have to have structure, and this is a very good way. Thank you so much for coming today and sharing this with us. Yes. I know a lot of people. This will really help them figure out what kind of journaling they need to do.
Right.
Some of us might be a little, standoffish, but
if you're a technology person,
oh no,
use it. I set alarms.
Yeah,
I really use both. I use a hybrid of digital and paper, but
Kevin
I cannot get away from paper because the brain and writing, when it comes from here through the fingertips and onto the paper, you will remember it so much better than if it's digital.
Yes.
So it's just the way we're wired.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
Yes, I wish we had more time. Thank you. That was wonderful.
It's a lot to talk about. Okay. Well, all right. So thank you, and I'm glad that we could do that.
So we are going to go to Dawn again because we want to hear another one of your songs.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. I see a little country boy with big city dreams, walking down a gravel road, patches on his jeans, carrying an old guitar he can hardly play, but in his heart he knows he'll be a star one of these days. His journeys took him from the hills to the neon streets, where he played in honky-tonks just to make ends meet. He never stopped believing. Now everywhere you go, you can hear that little country boy singing on the radio. Take it from the heart and listen to your soul. What you really want, you already know. What you really need, you've known it from the start. Listen to your soul and take it from the heart. She kissed her daddy on the cheek, walked him down the aisle, dried a teardrop from his face, tried to make him smile. She knew he didn't want to see this little girl grown up, but looking in her eyes he saw a woman in love. It's been a couple of years now since her wedding day, and all the tears he cried for her have faded away. You can catch him smiling now, proud as can be, sitting in his rocking chair with a grandson on his knees. Take it from the heart and listen to your soul. What you really want, you already know. What you really need, you've known it from the start. Listen to your soul and take it from the heart. You better listen to your soul and take it from the heart. You better listen to your soul and take it from the heart.
Okay, I have a question. So, how did you get the name Pooba?
Well,
I was riding down the road one day with some friends of mine, and they wouldn't get out of the left lane, and it was a bunch of Shriners that was having to go around us. And one of the potentates come up, and he rolled his window down, and he looked at me, and he went, and my buddy said, "You're the Pooh-Bah." I said, "Well, there you go." And I guess it stuck. That's all right.
Okay, I
That's
got you.
great.
The Pooh-Bah. Gotcha.
So, and I've got a question.
Sure.
So, where do you actually call home all the time? Because I know you travel quite a bit.
Yes, I do. I live in Smithville, Tennessee, which is about 170 miles from here. It's in the mountains up, like the foothills, going up into East Tennessee. It's in between Nashville and Knoxville, around Center Hill Lake.
Do you play locally here in this area at all?
You know, I haven't played a lot here, but
But you'd love to. Paris is an
love to play
amazing
here.
place.
yes, I love to play anywhere they have me.
Oh, lots of good places to play here. And now I had heard, and you can clarify this for me, that you played with both Johnny Cash and Willie Nelson for somewhere in the 20-year range there.
Well, I was friends of theirs for a long, long time, and I rode the roads with them quite a bit.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, it was. It was pretty surreal in a way. But I learned a lot from those guys, you know. I mean, they were real human beings, and they showed me a lot of stuff.
Johnny Cash, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That must have been quite the education.
That's right, son. He's real good.
Oh my gosh, and everybody loves Willie Nelson. So, well, can you tell us then how to get in touch with you if somebody would want to have you come out and play locally?
Yes, yes. You can get on my website, donmealer.com.
Okay, yeah, we have it.
I've got a Facebook thing here that you can reach me on Messenger, and I have all my phone, on donmealer.com, I have my phone numbers and all that kind of stuff. You can give me a call, and I'd love to come play West Tennessee. I was born in West Tennessee. I was born in Jackson, Tennessee.
Oh, Jackson, okay.
I moved to Nashville when I was way little, and raised about halfway there, and then moved to Smithville and been living there ever since.
And when I was reading your bio, it also says that you were in, is it Downton?
Downtown,
Dowelton.
Tennessee. Yeah, we call it Do Well Town.
Okay.
If you D-O-W-L. If you split them up, we call it Do Well Town, but it's downtown. Yeah, and it's right about 8 miles out of Smithville.
Oh, okay. So that's in that same neighborhood. I'm not that familiar
Yeah,
with that
they have
area of Tennessee.
A big fiddlers convention there every year.
Oh.
That a lot of fiddlers come from around the world and
Oh, how wonderful.
showcase their talent.
Okay, and I guess you've got another song to sing for us.
Yes, I like to leave.
Oh, but you have to explain a picture first. We're going to put up.
Oh no! There we are.
My
Yeah,
goodness, look at you. What a youngin' you are there.
Yeah, that's.
What's
Connie
that
and
all
Ellie.
about?
Connie Henson and Ellie Mae. And I got to hang out with them for about a week, and I almost went to California, but I stayed in Tennessee. Sounds like a song, though.
It does.
It does. It's, maybe you should write another song. I almost went to California.
But I come to my senses.
Well, we thought we'd just surprise you with that.
Oh, well,
That's
that
a
was
great
surprise.
photo.
This is my younger days.
Well, so you've got another song, so we'd love to hear
Yeah, I like
that.
to leave a gospel song.
Oh, good.
It's called Born on the Mountain.
Oh, nice.
I was born on a mountain. I've always been close to the sky. I was born on a mountain, Lord. I've always been close to the sky. When I get above these trees, you know where I'm gonna fly. When whispering like your voice, are you calling my name? When whispered like your voice, Lord, are you calling my name? Have you got another plan for me? Is there gonna be a change? Well, I know the sun is shining just above the clouds. And I know the sun is shining, Lord, just above the clouds. You're always in my heart, Lord. My mind has no doubt. Got a home up in heaven, way up on high. Got a home up in heaven, Lord, way up on high. And when I get above these trees, you know where I'm gonna fly. And I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. Whoa, I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. Now when I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away.
That was great. Thank you so much. You know, we prayed really hard for you a while back because you were in the hospital, and it is a miracle. It's a miracle to see you here, and I'm so grateful.
It is. I feel blessed.
Yes, well, you are. That's some blessed music there, too. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you to everybody who was here tonight, Norma and Tracy and Don, and we just appreciate the good show. Our model, that's right. We also had the model tonight. And this coming Thursday, we're going to have a roundtable discussion about spiritual growth during the new year and spiritual awareness. It's going to be a really good talk with Jesse Goolish and Candace Farmer.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
I'm
That's
really
going to be
looking forward to that.
great.
Yeah.
So that'll be Thursday, January 26th at 6:30 p.m. So we hope everybody can make that because that is really going to be an interesting conversation. We've never done a roundtable before, but we're going to pull it off and see how it goes. And I'm excited.
Yes,
Really, I'm very
I am
excited.
too. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, no kidding. So we look forward to seeing all of you next week if you can make it. Same time, same day. And please don't forget to subscribe and follow us on social media. Thanks for watching and have a great day, Paris.
Yes.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.